Hi everyone, it's Maya from WholesomeYum.com, and today I'm showing you how to make keto cheesecake. Guys, this has been the most popular keto dessert recipe on Wholesome Yum for the past 4 years. And for good reason, this low-carb cheesecake tastes just like the real thing. It's sweet, it's rich, it's creamy. People tell me they can't even tell that this is a sugar-free cheesecake. I use Wholesome Yum almond flour to make the keto cheesecake crust. It's super fine, so it's gonna give us a really nice texture that tastes just like shortbread. But if you need a nut-free version, I'll link another keto cheesecake recipe down below. That one uses a coconut flour crust, so you can use that crust with this filling if you want. And this filling is the #1 reason to love this cake. This isn't just the best keto cheesecake I've ever had, it's the best one I've had, period. Making low-carb versions of traditional cakes and making them taste like regular ones is tough because the flours are just so different. But with the cheesecake, it's super easy. All you need is the right sweetener for the filling. Now, any powdered sweetener will work in the filling for this keto cheesecake recipe, but after years of testing, I found that the best result comes from using Besti sweetener. The reason is it dissolves perfectly, there's no grit, it tastes just like sugar, it doesn't crystallize when you store it, and there's no cooling effect like you get from erythritol-based sweeteners. In fact, Besti dissolves so well that if you don't have powdered Besti on hand, you can use crystallized for the filling as well, and it works perfectly, it dissolves really easily. If you use a different sweetener, only a powdered one will work. I've gotten such positive feedback for this low-carb cheesecake recipe that I even included it in my Easy Keto cookbook. I'll link down below where you can get it. And if you like easy keto baking recipes that use just a few ingredients, be sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more of those soon. Okay, I'm ready to make this keto cheesecake. Let's do this. We're going to start by lining a 9-inch springform pan with parchment paper. So this is how I do this. Flip the pan over and then fold the parchment paper into fourths, just like this. Then you're going to align the corner at the center of the pan and then just cut around a semicircle, just like this. And basically we're forming like a quarter circle, and once we unfold this, it's going to fit into the pan perfectly. I highly recommend a springform pan for keto cheesecake because otherwise it's going to be extremely difficult to get the cheesecake out of the pan. Set the pan aside, and now we're going to make our almond flour cheesecake crust. We're going to start with 2 cups of Wholesome Yum blanched almond flour, and then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of Besti sweetener. Now, if you like your crust a little less sweet, you could use a little less of this, but it doesn't come out super sweet, it's just a few tablespoons here. And we're gonna mix that all together until it's super smooth. If you like, you can use a whisk here to get rid of any lumps. I had a spatula on hand, so that's what I'm going with. Next, we're going to melt 1/3 cup of butter. That is the same as 5 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon if you're using the notches on your butter. And once that's melted, add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I like to use this little whisk to whisk it all together. The vanilla blends into the butter better than if we were just to add it to the almond flour mixture directly. And after that, you can go ahead and pour it in, and we're going to mix up the crust. It's going to be really dry at first, but just keep mixing and kind of pressing with your spatula until it's a little crumbly, and it should stick together when you press it between your fingers, just like this. Now we're going to press the crust into our prepared pan. You can just go ahead and pour this crumbly mixture into the bottom, and then use your hands to kind of spread it out and then press it so that it's nice and compact in there. If you like, you can use the bottom of a glass for this to make it extra smooth, but I just use my fingers. And we're gonna bake it for about 10 minutes until it's golden. After it's done, you do want it to cool, but we can go ahead and make our filling while we wait. The keto cheesecake filling is the best part, and it's just like a regular cheesecake. We're going to start with 4 packages of cream cheese, that's 32 ounces total, and make sure it's softened at room temperature, otherwise you're going to end up with a lumpy filling. And we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of Besti powdered monk fruit allulose blend. Now, like I mentioned before, if all you have is the crystallized Besti, you can go ahead and use that because it's going to dissolve so easily, but if you're using any other sweetener, it has to be powdered. Beat the cream cheese and Besti at medium to low speed until fluffy. You don't want the speed too high, otherwise you're going to introduce too many air bubbles, and we don't want that in a cheesecake. Once your cream cheese and sweetener are nice and smooth, go ahead and add the eggs. We're adding 3 large eggs and add those one at a time, beating after each addition. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice. I love the flavor from fresh lemon juice, but if you like, you can use bottled for convenience as well. And keep in mind, this is not a lemon cheesecake. You're not actually going to taste that much lemon in there. It's just to balance out the flavors. I also don't add sour cream to my basic keto cheesecake, but if you like that in there, feel free to add a 1/4 cup of sour cream at this step as well. And finally, we're adding a teaspoon of vanilla extract and beat this all together until the filling is nice and smooth. Our keto cheesecake filling is ready, our crust has cooled, so we can go ahead and combine them. Pour the filling over the crust, and then after this, you can smooth the top. I like to use just a general, regular spatula first, and then if you'd like it extra smooth, use a pastry spatula to smooth the top. If you have any tricks for how to do this really well, let me know. I do my best here. My low-carb cheesecake is ready to bake. This is going to take about 45 to 55 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until the center is almost set but still jiggly. You don't want it fully set or it's going to be dry and overcooked. Once you remove the cheesecake from the oven, it won't be fully set yet, but we do want to run a knife along the edges to prevent it from sticking to the sides and causing cracks as it shrinks when it cools. So I'm just gonna dip the knife in water and then kind of go around the edge, slowly, do the best you can, and this is going to help prevent cracks later as well. Cool the cheesecake in the pan on the counter at room temperature, and then once it comes to room temperature, refrigerate for at least 4 hours, preferably overnight, until completely set. Do not try to remove the cake from the pan before chilling, or it is going to fall apart. Now that the cheesecake has cooled and fully set, I like to use this knife trick again just to be extra sure that the cheesecake is not stuck to the edges of the pan. So go ahead and run all the way around, and then after that, you can slowly and carefully remove the edges of the springform pan. Now, you can just serve the cheesecake directly in the pan so that you don't have to worry about moving it, but I like to transfer it to a cake stand. I just think it looks more beautiful. So I use this giant turner. I'll link it down below. I think it's really convenient for transferring cakes, so many other things in the kitchen, and hopefully this turns out and doesn't crack on me. Yes, it worked. This keto cheesecake is my absolute favorite for serving at get-togethers because nobody can tell it's low carb. Let's cut a slice and let me show you what the inside of this looks like. That's just so creamy. It cuts so smoothly. And then make sure you cut through the crust on the bottom. The trick to cutting cheesecake is a straight down motion. Don't seesaw back and forth. Otherwise it's going to kind of crumble. And then once you've cut to the bottom, then you can just slide the knife out. Just like that. Now, you can top your keto cheesecake however you want, but my favorite way is this easy raspberry sauce. It's sugar-free. It's in my easy keto cookbook as well. So let's put some of this on. And a couple of raspberries. Just scatter those on the plate as well. And some blueberries. This is my favorite way to decorate a cheesecake. It's so fun. Oh, that one went rolling. And sprig of mint. I'm so excited to try this. That was so good. It definitely tastes like there's real sugar in there. If you've tried this recipe before, I know many of my readers have over the years. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of it. And if you haven't, I hope you'll make it soon. Don't forget to snap a photo and post it with #WholesomeYum so that I can see it. See you next time on Wholesome Yum, where I share easy, healthy, and keto recipes, all with 10 ingredients or less.